Here's the 0-1. This is going to be a tough play. The Cubs win the World Series. Brian makes the play.
Soon this year's World Series matchup will be determined. Unfortunately, Sox and Cubs will not be in it, but a baseball writer for the New York Times will be covering the series no matter who is in it. Tyler Kepner has covered every World Series game from the last 2 decades. In his newest book, The Grandest Stage, A History of the World Series, Kepner reveals behind-the-scenes stories from 117 years of the World Series. Tyler is with us this morning to tell us more. Good morning.
Morning, Pat. How are you?
I'm good. You know, we started off with, we had to do it. We started off with video of the 2016 World Series and the Cubs. And,
Sure.
Listen, obviously, if anybody who lives in the Chicago area knows how massive that was and how much that reverberated here. But I wonder, outside of Chicago and on a grander stage, did it really resonate outside of Chicago the same way it did here?
Oh, it really did. I mean, it was. I think the ratings were proof of that. But it really was a story that one of those few baseball stories that we hadn't seen in our lifetimes. Right, 108 years since the last championship, and it was one of those things that people across the country could root for. One of those things that we grew up knowing was just never going to happen, and it did. And on a lesser extent, I guess, the White Sox with their 88-year drought in 04, in 05. I mean, that one didn't get the attention because the Red Sox had just happened. But for diehard White Sox fans, that was a long, long time coming, too. And it was a thrill to cover that one as well.
Yeah, what do you remember most about that one? That was going to be my next question, the 05 White Sox.
Yeah, I mean, I remember how galvanized that team was and how sort of old school they were in terms of the starting pitching, right? I mean, they were a team that would ride those starting pitchers and let them go. And talking to Jeff Blum about the one at-bat he got in the World Series, and he was able to hit a go-ahead extra inning home run to win Game 3. To set up that moment there with Bobby Jenks. So that was a really special World Series, really good World Series too. A lot of close games in it, and the White Sox took it to them.
The 1919 White Sox, the Black Sox, have been so popularized in pop culture and movies, and obviously, and I feel like we think about this team as, well, if they had not gambled away, they would have won this World Series in a landslide. And we built them up as this team that was like the 27 Yankees, but you say not so much.
Yeah, that's what I always assumed too, right? Before I started doing this research, I was like, well, they were clearly going to win. They had won in 1917. They had Shoeless Joe. They had all these guys. The Cincinnati Reds were better that year, and they never really get their credit because, they feel like they had the World Series handed to them. But that Reds team was even better winning percentage-wise than the Big Red Machine in the 70s. And we think of the Big Red Machine as one of the great teams of all time. So they were primed to beat the White Sox. The White Sox didn't have a Hall of Fame starter anyway. Red Faber, he was already hurt, so they were down one. The Reds had been put together by Christy Mathewson when he was still their manager before he went to World War I. So they were very smartly put together, and the White Sox had a lot of internal divisions anyway. Even if they hadn't thrown the World Series, they sure didn't like each other. And I think they were primed to be beaten.
I grew up in New Jersey and had a front row seat for those Yankees teams between 1998 and 2000. The three-peat, which was one of the more remarkable things I think I've ever seen in sports. I think it's hard to repeat in any sport. I think it's extremely hard to repeat in baseball, and I think it's even harder now given the amount of rounds of playoffs. Do you ever think it's possible that we'll see a team do that ever again in this sport?
It's really, really hard because if we would have seen if it was possible, we probably would have seen it in the last couple of decades. I mean, look at how good the Dodgers have been. They've won 106 games or more 3 years in a row, and the only year they didn't was the COVID year, and they won the series that year. Houston has been outstanding for a lot of years, but it's those extra rounds, and that's what makes those Yankee teams such an anomaly that they were able to get through those rounds, all of them, every time without a stumble. Whenever something needed to go one way or the other, it would go the Yankees' way until Game 7 in the 9th inning out in Arizona. And that's when it all kind of evened out. They've only won one since then. They went to the series in 03, and really, so we're looking from 04 to now. They've only been there once. They won in 09, and that's big. But it's been a long time for the Yankees because a lot of these extra rounds will trip them up.
Yeah. Tyler, good stuff. Enjoy the series this year. The book is called The Grandest Stage, A History of the World Series. It's available now. You can also follow Tyler on Twitter @Tyler Kepner. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.